Welcome back to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour. We've got the Bakersfield Speedway segment. I'm Mike Griffith. Scott Schweitzer was going to be here and got an SOS from his daughter who had car trouble. So Scott is rescuing his daughter and not going to make the show. But that's fine because we've got plenty to talk about. Last week was the last regular season points race out there at Kern County Raceway Park. And before we get to slides, I just want to, out at there at Bakersfield Speedway, we've got the all-area motorsports team coming up. A lot of Bakersfield Speedway drivers are going to be in this. All the track champions, they were all crowned on Saturday night. This edition is going to be out on December 17th, thanks to the fine folks at Fast Trip. So we want to give them some love there for that. And we had a lot of divisions out there racing on a Saturday night at the Third Mile Clay Oval. Tom Mock was there as usual with plenty of photos. IMCA Modifieds, nothing strange here. It's kind of Steven Johnson in the 126 did not win this race, nor did the 45 of Troy Petit. He chased him all years. And here he is. Devin Jones in the 76 Junior got out front, led all the way, and got the victory. So a good win for Devin Jones. Chad Johnson finished second, Steven Johnson third, Troy Petit third. And so the IMCA stocks, what a great season for Steven Johnson. I think he won like 8 races, ended up with 480 points. Troy Petit was second with 474, and the points are so close in that division, basically because there's only 1 point difference in finishing positions on IMCA classes, whether they be modified, sport mods, stocks, or whatever. They only have 1 point difference, so it favors consistency and showing up. So that's the idea that if you show up all the time, you're going to be fairly close. And then we had the American stock race here. Once again, Tom getting some fine photos for us of the final American stock race. And 3 drivers had a chance to win the championship entering this final race. You had the Dakota Brown in the 15D car, was 4 points up over Trevor Baker in the 10 car, with Nicholas Johnson just 10 points back. But a bad luck for Nicholas Johnson. He broke at the end of his heat race. He did not start the race. That left it a battle between Dakota and Trevor Baker. Trevor was mirrored to midway through the pack and didn't make any ground, and Dakota came from the back of the pack and made a last lap pass. Went high in turns 3 and 4 with a basically had a lapper down there, and Brody Schweitzer had the lead, went low in turn 3. Dakota went high, and it was really high, but somehow he found enough traction coming out of turn 4 and edged Brody for the win at the line. So his 3rd win of the year, also capped the championship season for Dakota. So a good run for Dakota Brown, and what a way to finish a championship season with a win. Miranda Scott led a lot of the race, finished 3rd. Aaron Nicholas Johnson did race. He jumped into the 24 car to get points because his car broke. And so he was out there, but not a real chance of winning. Trevor Baker finished 5th round out of season. Congratulations on those top 3 drivers in Dakota, Trevor, and Nicholas on a very, very good American stock season. And we had the next race up. Looks like hobby stocks here and some 3-wide racing. And this was a bit of a crash fest early on. A flip here in turns 1 and 2, so we had a red flag for a while. No one was hurt. Stopped the race for 10 or 15 minutes. Lloyd Wren Jr. in the 87 car, 2nd win of the season. He's gone to a crate motor in that car, I believe, and he's been running well the past few weeks. So a good win to finish the regular season for Lloyd Wren Jr. Tom Grisnick was 2nd, Raymond Nolan Jr., Johnny Wood, Aaron Stewart, solid season for Aaron, and Mike Hill Jr. stayed safe and came away with the championship. In championships points, Mike Hill Jr., who was Rookie of the Year last year, won the championship this year. Solid season for Mike there. Followed by Aaron Stewart, Chris Settlemeyer, Perry Alderman, and Robert Swearingen were the top 5 in the hobby stock points. Then we had a sport mod race out there. Chris McKellar had a big lead entering this race, 3 wide in the sports mod. Not a lot of that, but once in a while you'd see it out there on Saturday night. And a pretty good race there at the end where Jordan Hager in the 9J car came away with his win. So his first win of the season, and he was certainly a happy camper there in Victory Lane on Saturday night. You had Jordan Hager. Chris McKellar came on strong at the end, finished second in the race, won the championship. Race Liberante came over from, I think, the Quartz Hill area. He doesn't make too many races, so he said he might be back for the Bud Nationals if he can. It's a money thing with them. Matt Lewis finished fourth. Jared Schweitzer in fifth. Matt Mayo, Austin Keller, Brylan Holder, Matt Mayo Sr., and Cameron Teo rounded out the top 10 in the sport mods. And then that brought us to the IMCA modified race, which was the last race of the night. We've got the video here to go with it. We had early on Scott Pounds out battling for the lead. He actually took the lead coming on the end of the first lap here, started on the inside of the front row. Scott took the early lead and then set up a pretty good race later on. It's coming up between him and Robbie Sawyer in the 198. Of course, last week out there, Robbie Sawyer did a little slide job in turns 3 and 4, got on the inside, bounced into Pounds, went on to get the win. Pounds was not too happy, and the two had some words after the race, but looked all was good this race, and Robbie's right there just following and chasing him most of this race. I think he comes up here. I don't know if it is this lap where he gets him, but you can see these two were running, and Highline was kind of probably the fast way around, but maybe a little nudge there in turn 2. Robbie gets in front, and Scott comes back, and you can tell he's going for it here, but Robbie slipped up high anyway, and Scott retakes the lead there in turn 4 and goes on. You've got Brad Pounds getting his nose in here late in the race in the 11X car. So you've got father and son and Robbie Sawyer, 3 really good racers running up front as the race progressed there. And this one came down again to the last lap as it was a week ago. But no hard feelings after this race. We'll see here coming up in a minute that Robbie will bounce back. Actually dropped a third here, and you can see them just hunting all around trying to find the preferred way around this racetrack. And that was Rick Childress Jr. Came up real strong, was looking to go for the win there, and just spun out, said totally 100% driver error on his part. He said he'd been points racing the last few races and was going for it and didn't quite make it, which left these two to go for the win. And there it is at the finish by a fender with Robbie Sawyer getting the win, followed by, of course, Scott Pounds, and I think Brad Pounds was in third. We had Tom's Great Art, 3 wide here. You got to love the modifieds on the 3rd mile over. They usually put on a good show, and absolutely a good show on Saturday night out there. Happy winner, Robbie Sawyer. No controversy this time, no yelling, no screaming. And Scott very happy with his 2nd place finish. Says, I'd love to be raced that way. He's raced me clean. Congratulations to him. Brad Pounds finished 3rd. Ethan Dotson back from his summer tour of the Midwest, finished 4th. Rob Sanders 5th. Roger Holder 6th. Cody Laney, Steve Nolan, Justin Schweitzer, and Byron Clark. And you're going to see all these guys up here in October for the Bud Nationals. That's off this weekend out at Bakersfield Speedway. Then you're going to come back with the 7th and 8th, the 31st annual Bud Nationals, late models, modified sport mods, IMCA Stocks, Hobby Stocks, and American Stocks on Friday night. Then on Saturday night, you've got the late models again, modified sport mods, IMCA Stocks, Hobby Stocks, and not IMCA. I made a mistake there. Those are Pro Stocks. So American Stocks race only on Friday night. The Pro Stocks race only on Saturday night of the Bud Nationals, 31st annual one. They don't take pre-entry, so it's hard to judge how many cars were there, but they do take an interesting thing. They pre-sell pit spots, and all the pit spots in the main pit areas have been sold, and I think all but about 8 to 12 in the auxiliary pit area were sold, so there would be kind of an auxiliary pit area. So you can expect well over 150 cars. Who knows? The car counts have been down a little bit this year. In past years, they've had right at 200. but it's going to be a big show. And if you make one race out of the year, make the Bud Nationals. You get the best drivers from the West in there. The late model fields have been thin at most weekly races, whether they be in San Maria or Bakersfield, but there'll be a solid late model count for this race. And the IMCA cars expect, I'd guess anywhere 35 to 40 IMCA modifieds for this race. So when you get to the main event with 22 cars or whatever, it's going to be the best 22 cars out there, and they put on a heck of a show. Late models and mods run main events both nights. Friday they have main events. Saturday night they have main events. So you want to get out there to Bakersfield Speedway for the Bud Nationals this week. Kind of a weird weekend. Nothing at KCRP, nothing at Bakersfield Speedway, and nothing at Auto Club Famoso Raceway. But it all starts up again next week with the Bud Nationals. So there you have it. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be back with Blake Bowser from Auto Club Famoso Raceway. We're going to talk some drag racing when we come back to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour.